Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is the 27th of January, 2023. Patty is whining about something. This is Flosstube number 160. This has been another whole week of stuff, so yeah, here we go. But I did get some stitching done. I worked on some whips. I gave myself a new start. I think I have all of it over here. And I got a finish. So that's always good news. What, Patty Cat? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Patty Cat? Do you want to come over here and say hi? Huh? Do you want to come say hi, Patty Cat? Huh? Come on. I know you don't like to get picked up. I think the girls carted you around too much when you were little. Can you say hi? Can you say hi, Patty Cat? Why are you crying, huh? Why are you crying? Say hi to everybody. Can you say hi? No? Okay. Well, damn. There you go. Go take your nap. Go take your nap. We'll see if she does or not. She's probably just going to keep on crying. But like I said, I did get some stitching done, so that is super exciting. My late night stitch, when we had our art show last weekend, we went to Ari's art show, which I probably forgot to get my iPad. We had Ari's art show and we got to see her beautiful artwork. She had made a little bear and they had to tear out, kind of draw an outline and then tear or cut out the bear and then texturize his fur. So she had some like stencils or something that you put under there to texturize it. And she had a bear like in the moonlight. It was really good. But y'all, some of those kids' art was so incredibly impressive. It was elementary, middle, and high school age, all of Midlothian. And it was so, some of those were so good. It was just, if you get a chance, I know it's an odd thing to say, go see a kid's art show, but y'all, some of those kids are super, super talented and they were really neat ideas from the art teachers and we just really enjoyed it. We went and saw, we didn't just look at Aria's, we went and looked at all of them. So that was nice start. We had lunch and then we met after lunch to go look at those. And then I got a phone call from Susu Saturday morning early that Kaylee was having to have emergency gallbladder surgery and she had promised to take Fran to see Greece. And Fran is the same age as Lala. So, they're in their 20s, but she is neuroatypical and lives in a facility with other neuroatypical people. And she is a doll. She's been over here to swim and things. And so I called Micah because they hadn't got to go, and this is a high school production of Grease. They hadn't got to go on Tuesday night when they were supposed to because both the girls had fallen asleep. So I said, do you want to see if you can get a ticket for Kimi? So we couldn't get them all together. So Fran and Callie ended up sitting down here and Kimi and I were back. They were in J and we were in Q. So we went in and y'all, those kids killed it. They did such a good job. And it is kid directed. It is, student directed, student choreographed, the whole 9 yards. The backs, the backdrops, the scenes and things, scenery and things. It really was just impressive. And so Kimi got to go with Fran and Callie and I, and we just had the best time. And Fran was so impressed that she wanted to meet them after the show. So we went and met some of the cast and had our pictures made. She wanted her pictures made with them and stuff. She was particularly interested in Kaniki because she said he was real handsome, but we didn't find him. We didn't find 3 of the ones. They must have been on the other side. We went down this side and they must have been on this side, I guess. So 3 of the ones that she was looking for, we didn't find. But I got so tickled at her because sometimes people think because people are neuroatypical, they are not smart, and that's not the case. Their brain is just, kind of wired different. And Kimmy and I had a talk because Callie repeats what you say back to you while her brain is processing, and then she answers, right? So we'd had a talk that, it might be a little different, talking to them than some people, but that's just the way their brain works. And she was fine with that. And she got to tell them about math pentathlon, which she loves, which neither one of them had done. And they just chatted and talked all the way. And Fran was particularly taken with Kaniki. She thought he was so handsome. So we're starting out of the theater to go try to find him to meet him. And she goes, I hope Kaniki isn't gay because he is so handsome. And I think I have a crush on him. And I said, oh, well, maybe not, Fran. We'll have to see, we'll meet him out here. And so anyway, we met him and, she got her picture made with him and told him he did a great job and he was handsome and all this. And y'all, then on the way home, I'm dying because, like I said, people think they're not smart, and that's not the case. That is not the case. Their brain is just wired different, because then we're driving on the way home, and she goes, I guess I better not be worried about if he's gay. I guess I better be worried about if he's legal or not. I don't want to go to jail today. I said, no, ain't nobody trying to go to jail today. That's true. Y'all, I laughed so hard. I like to wreck the Jeep. I was laughing so hard because it's not that they're not smart. Their brain just kind of goes in a different order. I mean, she's thought about all the things, and it didn't come to her mind first, but it came to her mind second. So we had a great time with them going to see Grease, and those kids killed it. Their voices were great. They're dancing. I mean, y'all, it was just impressive. So try to support your local high school theater arts and visual arts, any kind of that you can, because those kids really do work hard and they really did a really great job. So I'm gonna throw that out there. I did work on spring. I told you I finished the snowman for Mama, and then this one was the next one, so I know she'd have at least 4. Well, this is not kind of as bright and cheery as I wanted it to be for her room, because she, she stays in there a lot when it's cold, especially. In the wintertime, they have a little atrium thing, and so, they'll go out there. She goes out there a lot, and they have activities and stuff. But when it's cold, she stays in her room more because she doesn't want to go outside in the atrium part and be cold. She is very sensitive to cold nowadays. So I wanted this to be a little brighter. So a lot of y'all may think it's a little bit garish, but I think it will make her happy. So this is the Bent Creek spring zipper, and I think there's probably 12 or 20 of these things all in all. But it is on 18 count linen. It comes with the threads. Like I said, Stitch and Scotty said that, where was it? And I'm gonna say Cross Stitch and Country Crafts in Johnson City, Tennessee had some. Your LNS probably has some left. If not, you can still get the patterns and everything. I'm not sure Bent Creek sells the kits. I'm not sure about that, but you can see but I know the patterns are still available. I changed up, if I stick this over here to the side, maybe you can see the difference a little better. I changed up some of the colors just to brighten it up a little bit. So where they have little white squares, I put yellow squares, and they had sent a green that is number, what is that? Right here. It all came in this little pack like this. And this is green number 522, which is really kind of a gray green. And I just changed it out for more of like a spring pea green. And I changed those little white squares, which are barely visible. There you go. I changed them to yellow. And then I'm gonna put, if you can see, there's little bitty flowers kind of scattered through it. I'm gonna make those orange just to brighten it up some, because she does spend a lot of time in there, and I like for it to be as cheery and bright as possible when it's just drabby, blah, you know, because spring does start coming on, but you don't have a lot of color in spring. I mean, let's be honest, everything's not in full bloom yet. Your daffodils and snowdrops and those things. Tulips, there are some tulips down here, but it really is kind of hot for them. So you have to get special varieties that don't have to be, or you have to dig them up and replant them every year, which is crocuses, you know, there'll be purples and yellows and things like that. Irises will bloom a little early, but you just don't have, the grass isn't very green yet and things like this. So I'm just brightening this piece up for her. They have just put little like X's in the center of their flowers. I'll probably put a little cluster of French knots in there. In retrospect, I wish I had I'd changed the pink out for a brighter pink, but it's okay. She has some of that color pink and that color blue. She has this color pink and blue and like navy and gray in her room a lot. And so it'll look good in there, but in retrospect, I could have brightened it up quite a bit with at least a different pink in there. Patty is just nosing around on the table. I don't know what she's doing. Probably about to cause an avalanche if I had to guess. Oh, y'all, and the cat was here yesterday and he left his little half-foos. Is there anything sweeter than little kid half-foos? They are so precious. I set them back there. I did switch up and put a little bit of, grab some of my Valentine stuff and put it out. So this one is out of a cross-stitch magazine a long time ago. It's one of my favorites. I tell y'all about it every year. These are the letter Loves out of Gilles Leger. I just pulled the letters out until I'm ready to start that big piece and did the letters, and they are beautiful. This is your Cut from a Pattern I Love. It's the July 1989 For the Love of Cross Stitch magazine. And I love it. I've displayed it for many, many years. As you can see, it's dusty and sad and all. These, I think, are Bent Creek's and Lizzie Kate's back here. Then mine and James' little stockings. This was also out of one of the cross-stitch magazines. I did it the year it came out, though, in 2016. So you can probably find it in one of the 2016 cross-stitch magazines. And then that one was done in the 80s, right there. Right there, no, there, yeah. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. So those have been running around with me for many, many years now. And I still love them. I know that styles change. Oh, also, somebody asked about the little T up here. When I have a piece that is very close to the same size, but not the same size, and the flowers, when I started stitching the flowers and I stitched the first one, it could have kind of gone either way if I wasn't paying close enough attention when I started stitching the next one, and then everything would have been off. So I just put a little T to remind myself that that's the top of my fabric, because this was going to be my late night stitch, so it's going to spend most of the day in the bag. I didn't want to pull it out and start stitching going the wrong direction, which I have done. Yes, I have done, and I've done it many times. Y'all know. Y'all know the truth. I do it. It just happens. I don't like it, but it just happens. I did get to watch Carol this week. She also got hit by the scammer people. Micah came over Friday afternoon and looked at it, and they had built a whole new YouTube page. Why can't these people use their powers for good and not evil? I don't know, but that's the way it is. They choose not to. My North Wind by Little House Needleworks, and I've told y'all so many times, the cover photo on it really just does not do it justice. I mean, it looks cute, but it is so stunning when you actually start stitching it. It is gorgeous. Take this little piece of, and I wanted to get all my words finished, but I got to snow and James Williams was getting home and I needed to, it was time for me to start dinner before he got home. So I didn't get my last letters done. And I could have picked it up and tried to do it afterwards, but y'all know then that's when I have to watch Jeopardy and the Big Wheel. I have life. It ain't much of one, but I have one. It's big enough for me, I'll tell you that. It is big enough for me. I am very grateful and thankful for it because I cooked dinner and then we watched the Big Wheel and Jeopardy, and I told him I wanted him to teach me how to play pool. I mean, we have a pool table, I might as well learn, right? Now, why we didn't do that during COVID, some of y'all gonna tell me, and we'll both know. But I don't know. So you can see, you'll see my needle stuck in right there where I got snow and stopped. So I had part of the word north, I think, no, maybe 1 to 2 letters, but anyway, I finished everything but the O and the W, I think, is all I have left. But it's just, the white shows up so good in person and it really doesn't show up so good in pictures. And it is so pretty. This is Fallen Leaves by Wicked Stepmother. Y'all, that made the most beautiful leaf ever. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, hoping for a finish on this one this week. That would be nice. I don't know if I will make it or not, but the robin is beautiful. The snowflakes and the snow show up. This is a piece of 40 count Sea Storm that it's stitched on. One of y'all gifted me this piece. It's my first time working on 40 count. It is fine, except the letters are a little tedious because you're just going, you know, up and down, making your one row, because it's just letters. So they're just like 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's a little tedious in that, but it is so pretty and I do love it. And I do love watching my birds. I filled up my bird feeders this week because we had a little bit of cold weather at the first week, and it was 30, it was bordering on freezing yesterday morning. And if you were up north, if you were in Dallas or Denton, they got snow and everything. Teresa sent me a picture that Molly had got a lot of snow up there at Denton. They had a ton, but we didn't get any down here. Keely said it was a little slick yesterday morning or the morning before when he was out feeding, but it hasn't been bad here at all. But I didn't use my called fors on this one. I didn't have them all. So I have part of them and then part of them I just switched out. But this is my Falling Leaves by Wicked Stepmother, which that is so beautiful. Hello, Frankie and Rhonda. I love it. Y'all know I love her floss. And I feel like there's a hair on my lip and it's making it go crazy. And I'm getting hot. Let's pull his hair back. Lord have mercy. I should know not to put the sweater on. I was gonna go walk as soon as we're done, so I went ahead and put my sweater on, and now I'm gonna melt in here. But I'm loving it. I'm going to love having it finished because it has the red barn. Y'all know that's my dream, is to live in the red barn there. So that is The North Wind by Little House Needleworks, and it isn't new, 2010. So it's been out a while. I'm sure your LNS has it or can get it for you, but it is beautiful and it is very much worth the stitching. I'm loving stitching this thing. It's so pretty. So I hope some of y'all are inspired to get it and stitch it, because it is, the cover photo just does not do it any justice as far as how beautiful it is when you're actually stitching on it. It is just so pretty. So I'm knocking out some of these winter ones with my finish this week, my 19 that I had back in June or July, whenever I did that. What was that? July. So 19 in July, and I'm down to 7. So that makes me happy. So I'm letting myself have a little bit of starts and things as I go along. And I'm trying to put this up as I go so I don't have a hot mess. The girls should be over here tonight. I'm not sure if they'll spend the night or not. We'll go to dinner. I may try to see if Micah will go with us. Justin left yesterday, so I got to pick up the girls at school while she was taking Justin to the airport because his truck is in Florida because he flew in for Aria's art show, and then our little Lulu got to feeling worse. And I keep saying she's 14. Micah said she was 12 and a half. But at 12 and a half and 4 pounds, and evidently a problem with Pomeranians is their little trachea breaks down and starts getting weak. And her little heart was enlarged. And Micah set up to have the vet come on Tuesday and have her put to sleep because she kept having more and more spells. And the vet said, well, look, this is just as good as it's going to get. And so Micah, she said, I just can't, Mom, I can't have her being like that. She just falls over, and then she TTs on herself, and then she just lays there when she comes back to. She's not feeling good and not feeling like herself, and I can't have that. So she called for the vet to come. Well, Justin was home. He stayed home a couple of extra days. He called and moved some stuff around, and he was going to stay till yesterday so that he would be there with her. He got Lulu for Micah when her cat that she had her whole life. I think I found her when Micah was in kindergarten and Micah was in college when Pumpkin passed. I took her to the vet. She's all of a sudden got so sick, and they said she's just too old. That's just the way it is. So she was super sad, and so Justin got her this little Pomeranian, Lulu. But they took the girls to school, and Micah was feeling so guilty about having her put down. And I think I've cried myself out, so I think I could talk about this without crying, y'all. I've cried all week. Because, also when your baby is upset, you're upset. And the girls were upset, and Micah was upset. She is so good that they took the girls to school, and when they came back in, she didn't run to the door or try to greet them or raise up or anything like she usually does. Usually she's super excited to see you, even if you've been gone 5 seconds. And so they went and sat down on the couch and were holding her. And Mike said, her breathing was labored, but I knew the vet was coming soon. This was about 8:15, and she just passed on her own. She did it on her own, so Micah wouldn't have to do it. So Lulu was queen till the end. She took all the guilt off Micah, so Micah didn't have to feel bad about doing it, and went on her own. So I was glad. I was thankful for that. And of course, she was very stubborn and bossy, and she was always going to do it her way anyway, the way she wanted to. But she and Justin were there, and they just got to sit there with her. And so that was the best. That was the best way it could work out. It was something horrible. It was happening, and she just took the reins and took care of it herself. So Kimi informed me yesterday that she said, "Should you know that now Lulu is up there with Jesus and Grandma L and Grandma D and Tia Becky, and she's getting to meet all their friends. Lulu loves to meet people." And I said, "I do. Lulu loves to meet people, and people love to meet Lulu." So if y'all's relatives up there in heaven and they like little dogs, they probably gonna make a big friend this week, because Lulu is in heaven. I nearly made it. So we had that, and my stupid crown came off. I had to go have my crown stuck back on at the dentist, which I don't know why that embarrasses me to say I have a crown. It's like I feel like I haven't taken good care of my teeth, but I've always tried to take good care of my teeth, but I ended up with a crown anyway. So there you go. But it has been, we just had all the things this week. We've had all the adventures. We got to go see Greece. We got to go to an art show. Lulu left us to go to Jesus, and as the girls say, that's how the girls say Jesus, y'all, is Jesus. And when they were little, they would go, and I have a St. Francis out here in the backyard, and they would go and pick flower seed. You know, he has this little hands cup where you can like put little bird seed in it or whatever, and they always go and put flowers in it. And they'll pick flowers and take them to Jesus. And I always think he really appreciates that probably so much. It always makes me think of the story that of the poor lady who has just the little mites or whatever, the little coins that aren't worth anything much, but she gives freely. And how much more her offering is worth than someone who is rich giving because they already have a lot. So I always think that Jesus probably really does appreciate those little flower offerings a whole lot. They are sweet, y'all. They are so sweet. They are good girls. Ari is a live wire, but they are good. Okay. Oh, and then on the way back from the musical, Kimi had a chocolate malt from earlier in the day, and I picked it up to set it in the front seat so I wouldn't remember to put it in the front cup holder, so I wouldn't remember to forget to carry it in. Y'all, I pick it up like this, and I'm coming like this to set it in the front. The bottom of the cup hits the corner of the passenger side seat. The bottom falls out of the cup. The whole bottom, the lid is like this, and I had it like right up at the top, but I hit it just right that it popped it loose and fell out of my hand, and there was chocolate malt all on the back floorboard. These are one of the days when I'm thankful to have a Jeep, because I dried it up with rags, took the floor mat out, soaked it in the pool, and scrubbed it off with my little scrub brush, laid it out to dry, and then I just parked the Jeep out in the driveway and was able to pour water, because the Jeep will drain through. And so it doesn't even smell like soured milk. So that was another adventure we had this week. So y'all, it's been something. It has been something. It's all, I'm telling y'all, my life is really just always very busy. I know people think I have a very small life, but man, I've always got some stuff going on around here, which I am thankful for. Some of it. And I'm thankful for Lou. Lou gave us so many years of joy, and so many people so many years of joy. So I'm very thankful even for that. This is my Lena sampler. It got some more love this week. I made myself go down here and start tackling the trees. I had started doing the green, like the weepy part of the willow, and I was off, so I had to pull it out by the time I did my trunk and then did the boughs of the tree, which are just a little bit darker green. I was off in my count when I thought I would start cutting that. That's where I was gonna use to start moving my tree across, but it did not work. I was a little off, so I pulled it out, but now you can see, it is so pretty. It is turning out just gorgeous. And so I got the trunk and all the boughs of the tree are done on this side, and I got some of the weepy willow leaves hanging down. And so I'll have to put one on this side. But the house is gorgeous. I love the weeping willow. So it is coming right along. This one is a 36 count. So it's a little bit hard to see at night. So I tend to try to stitch on it earlier in the day when the light is a little bit better. I use my lamp still, and also when your eyes aren't tired. When your eyes get tired, you just don't stitch. You just can't, or I can't see as good late at night. But I'm loving it. I can't wait to get it finished and hang it up. But it is very, very pretty. Frankie did a great job on this one. There we go. I guess that's about as close as I can get and get it all in. But I stinking love it. I didn't get any mail done this week. I don't know why, that just occurred to me to say, y'all. I have not even looked in my email. So Nothing got mailed this week, not of any kind. We just had too much going on around here. All the things. So I love this one. It is coming right along. I can't wait to get my other tree done. And then I'll do the, I don't know, I keep calling these heart flowers. Heart flowers here. And then I'm gonna put mine and James's monograms up here in the corners, so. But yes, it is coming along beautifully. So I hope to have at least the other tree done by next week. And after I get the other tree done, I think the heart flowers will go pretty quick because they're connected. Once I do the count to find out where to put them, they're connected. And so it should go pretty quick after that. But I do love it. And I am super excited. When my border met up that day, I was so happy. Was it last week or week before? So all the good things are going on with this sampler here. All the good stuff. Then I used another little piece of this 36 count vintage rose is what this is. And because I don't have very many Valentine pieces, I grabbed out a Valentine piece that I've had for a long time and started on it. And I have it as a standalone piece. I don't remember seeing it in any of the Blackbird books. That does not mean, however, that it is not in one of them. Patricia, I'm sure, knows and could tell us right away. And some of the rest of y'all that are real aficionados with your Blackbird. I can't keep it all straight in my brain. But it is a Merry Heart. And I have it stitched on something else somewhere too. I don't know where that piece is. A Merry Heart is a continual feast. It is gorgeous. It is an old, I mean, it's really old. It's from the Schoolgirl Samplers #2. I don't know if it says the year on here or not. I bought it many moons ago. 2003. There it is. I thought it was on here somewhere. I bought it several years ago and have just hung on to it and not stitched it. And it is beautiful. Now I'm, of course, as I do, I'm changing up the colors. And it is a small little thing. And I'm doing it on 36 count, so it will be even smaller than it is wont to be. And I just think it'll be precious. And it's gonna be wrinkly because it's so small I can't go on the other side. So they have, I mean, it only has 4 colors in the original. It only has 4 colors of stitching in there. So of course I had to add some more colors. So I have the flowers that I'm doing are from Wicked Stepmother, and they are, what is that? Why Me Lord in violet and blue. I just pulled all Wicked Stepmothers for it. She sent me a bundle and it got me thinking that I love these two. And to me, this is an orange because it's autumn, but it is a beautiful color for a heart. So I've got Autumn Sweater, Woolly Swamp, Harvest Moon, Eye of the Tiger, Why Me Lord, and Violet and Blue. And those are the colors that I picked for it. And I just love those together. I stinking love those together. And I don't know if I was smart, I could get all these on here together so you can see, hey, look at there. I even surprise myself sometimes. So it's gonna be, one of them is a light blue and one of them is a purple blue. And then I will use the Autumn Sweater to actually do the shape of the heart. Ring, there we go. Maybe you guys can see that. I can't get it very flat because it's so small. But that is another little snip off that 36 count vintage rose. And it will make that orange look a little pinker up against it. Let me see if I can lay these guys on here like this. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I love that color combination, and especially on this fabric. It is gorgeous. So I cannot wait to get this finished so that I'll have another little Valentine piece back here. So y'all know I like to do in-season stitching, even though it's not very practical. That does make me happy to do in-season stitching. But it is gonna be so cute. There it goes, maybe. I can't wait to get it done. Like I said, I don't know if this one has ever been released in a book or not. I have a lot of the Blackbird books, and I don't remember seeing this one. That does not mean it's not in there. That just means I don't remember. And my lipstick today is not on. I must have just put gloss on and forgot to put lipstick. So I have no lips. Hey. They're the same color as my face. A little weird. That's okay. But that was my new start this week for Valentine's. So, because I had to finish and because I am very close to finishing, because that Bent Creek one won't take long to finish. The Bent Creek Spring goes really fast. Look at this beautiful bag Patty made me. Hello, Patty Pan. I hope you're doing well. I have this. This is blue bonnets, so I know they're not everywhere, but we have those, and we'll just have fields and fields of them in the springtime, and they are so pretty. Now for the big finish. The big finish with all the called for DMCs. I got my Cricut collection winter all done. And I'm so excited about it. It is beautiful. It has been fun to stitch. It was, the E-Elect got me. And I don't think I missed anything. I think I've gone back and, there we go. Maybe it'll go like this. So you can see the W has the little chimney, the snowflake, and the little, like it's like a little window with a candle in it. And then you have the cardinal there. You have this icy tree with a star in the top, the little stocking cap, snowflakes, another little cardinal, the snowman, the tea. These are little seed balls like you hang in the tree for birds to eat. See if I can get over this way and get it better, okay. Then, where are we at? Right here. Another cardinal, my snowman, this sleigh. You have a birdhouse, another cardinal, I think this one's a female. This one's a male cardinal. All the rest are males. This sleigh, and this is, I don't know if it'll close up enough. It's little like pine needles and pine cones. And then you have another snowflake. But y'all, this thing is gorgeous. Let me see if I can, there we go maybe. It is kind of a big piece, but it is worth every stinking stitch because it is beautiful. It's all DMCs, so it's no fancy floss. It's not even charted for it. I mean, I don't know if any later copies show it or not. And one of y'all asked, Arbueno asked about doing it on 14 count. It says on 14 count that the design area is like 18 by 4. So you're gonna need however many inches you put on each side, but it's 4 inches tall, 18 inches wide is your design. So you need, what, 10 by 24? A 10 by 24 piece on 28 count. This is on a, let's see what it says here. 32 count sea spray, and it's 22 by 9. So you can see how big that is. So that would be like a 16 count. So I'm going to try to find a frame for it this week. I am gonna frame this one because it's so pretty. And and I'll have a hard time finding anything long like that. So anyway, I will go ahead and probably just frame this one in frame and order some kind of a frame for it offline if I can't. Or order it at Hobby Lobby. You can go in there and order a frame too. But you can use, I think the name of it is Art to Frame or Art to Frames. A-R-T, like O-F-R-A-M-E-S, something like that. And you can order specific sizes, which I've used them before, and they did a great job. So I may do that if I can't find something close enough. But I love it. I'm so happy to have it finished. It is so, so pretty. So it is worth every little stitch that you put in this thing. It's beautiful. You know what? I can just leave it on here till we're done. Okay, I'm gonna move you back to the end. So then we had some questions and comments. I got some Happy Mail this week. Becky, yes, my gallbladder is gone. So it's not my gallbladder, it's something else. Heaven only knows what. Daylene, I'm gonna come for you and all your knowledge because I'm really a bit perplexed. So I'm coming for all your brain power. Cassandra, oh yes, thank you for telling me that. She said sometimes when you get a scan, you're gonna feel like you peed yourself. And that is not cool. And thank you for telling me because I would have been dying thinking I peed during the test, which always makes me laugh about our fancy Nancy. James and I picked her up to take her to one of the shop parties or to somebody's birthday or something. And so I put her in the front seat with James. Well, you know, she's in her 80s and she ain't nothing to her. I mean, ain't enough to cuss at. Nancy is the little bittiest thing you ever seen. She's taller than me, but she's so thin. And so James Williams had turned on the seat, you know, the heated seat. And I guess it started heated up as they were driving. And she said, does this seat get hot? And he said, oh yes, ma'am, I turned it on. So maybe you wouldn't be freezing in here. And she said, thank the Lord, I thought I peed myself. I was dying. He said, oh no, I was just trying to get you warm. And she was like, oh, that's okay. I was like, oh my gosh. And Karen, yes, your blood pressure being high can enlarge your heart. That's what, you know, our little Lulu, her heart was enlarged. But you know, when you're 4 pounds, I guess you're just and always happy and excited. So yes, that's the reason the doctor doesn't want your blood pressure to stay high, is because it can lead to your heart enlarging. So, Nancy, yes, menopause is ridiculous. The most ridiculous thing. Just when you thought, menopause. And I thought, finally I'll be warm because I've been freezing my whole life. Always been freezing. See, like right now I'm freezing again. I have been freezing my whole life. I have never been hot. And then you get menopause and then you're like, if you're me, then you start burning up, but then you're freezing again in a few minutes. Ridiculous. Cindy, I started writing down something that you had written here and I can't read it and don't know what I was writing. So I think it was to take deep breaths and you can put your face in cold water and like blow real inside your mouth real hard and not let it come out to get your blood pressure your heart to quit racing. Josie, yes, I get tired of cooking the same things every week, and James gets tired of eating the same things every week. His mama cooked all the time, but his dad only ate a certain amount of things that he liked, and so his mom cooked that again and 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 again. And so there are things that he just will not eat. He will not drink tea. He will not touch it. He said, I grew up having to drink tea. I ain't drinking it again. I ain't got to. And he drinks water. He just is not interested in it. So they had roast every week, and like they had like a regular routine that they ate all the time like this, because that's what his dad liked. So yes, I try not to cook the same things each week, and I love looking for new recipes. This week we had our big different meal was salmon. I did salmon and green beans and a 7-grain kind of a quinoa mix. It was really good. So that was our really different meal this week. I usually take his leftover fajitas because we go get Mexican food and we always have leftovers. The fajitas are always too much. And so I usually take them and either make taco soup or quesadilla or something. So that's always in the rotation, doing something with that. If I don't, I'll just warm it up in the skillet. He'll just eat it like that, right? But he doesn't have to have a setup for it or anything like you do at the restaurant with the guacamole and sour cream and all that. He'll just eat the fajita meat with the vegetables in them, with the onions and peppers. He'll just eat that, just like eat it. So if I'm not feeling good or if I'm gone or something and I don't, like Tuesday when I went to make cards, last week, I made the taco soup and I just put it in the crock pot and then he gets it and eats it when he gets home. So, but I do try not to cook the same things over and over and over again. Olivia, who is our Southern Yankee stitcher, I'm sending all of you and your mama who is in a memory care facility also. It is hard. It's hard to watch, to see them. And she hasn't wanted to get out this week because it's cold. So when it's cold, she won't go nowhere hardly. So I don't blame her. When I had to go to the dentist on Tuesday, I had to go to the dentist and then I usually go and do all my stuff like in one go. I usually don't go on Tuesday though. I go later like on Wednesday and that's when I do my mail. I have time to get my mail done and all this. Well, this week, because of the crown coming off, that didn't happen and I was all off schedule. So it was drizzling and in the 30s and I was freezing and raining. And it was actually raining when I went. It drizzled in the afternoon, but we got, 1.5 inches, I think, that day. But I was so cold. So I got wet going in the store, bought my groceries, got wet coming back out. It was like, oh my gosh. So I'm with her. Listen, Christmas is over. You missed your chance, winter. As far as I'm concerned, you missed your chance. Now, we know around here because when we got the big ice-ageddon a couple of years ago, it was February. And I don't know what to say. There's a big truck going down my street. But I don't like the wintertime either. Kathy, I hope I'm sending some love and calm before your surgery. Surgery is always scary for me. Even when it's just a small thing, it scares me. Going to the doctor, everything about it. The dentist, I was white knuckling the whole time. All they were doing was sticking this crown back on. You would have thought they were tray panning my skull or something. It was ridiculous how nervous I get going in there. And I tell them and I admit it, my blood pressure is always through the roof. And because it makes me a nervous wreck going to the dentist. And I'm always afraid and this is what's silly, is that I feel like I'm gonna suffocate. Because I can't breathe out of my nose good all the time. My nose is subpar. So they have your mouth open and the spit and stuff is pooling in the back of your throat and I am getting panicky because I feel like I'm going to drown at the dentist. I can swim like a fish and my big fear is drowning at the dang dentist. So go figure. So ridiculous. But that's my life right there. Charles, yes, I would love your mom's Italian soup recipe because I love Italian wedding soup. If y'all have never had that, I think Olive Garden is where I've usually had it. We don't go there a lot, but it is so good. It is. So I would love that recipe because I love soup. I could live on soup and cereal. Soup and cereal, and I could be the happiest person in the world. I'm pretty easy. I'm not, I don't, you have to take me out somewhere fancy. We were watching something and the lady said, oh, he's taking me somewhere fancy, where you sit down and order. And I was like, there I am. It's somewhere fancy where you sit down and order. James Williams looked over at me. I said, shush it. Okay, shush it. We did not go out to eat. Much when I was a kid. We lived on drive-through food because my mama worked. So we lived on drive-through food, okay? But we did not go out to eat. So that's what's weird, is that they never had any drive-through food, but sometimes they would go out somewhere nice to eat. So when they went out, it was usually a sit-down restaurant, right? Where you order at the table, you know. And so our experiences are just completely opposite from each other. But I'm just not, I like to go try new things and see new things and everything, but it doesn't, I don't have to have expensive food. I'm just not, I mean, it's just gonna be with me for a day, right? It seems somewhat of a waste to spend like an exorbitant amount of money on food, but that's just me. So yes, Charles, I would love her Italian wedding soup, and I hope you're feeling better. He has been sick, a lot of us, there's so many viruses and flus, and the COVID is resurfaced, you know, it's on its uptick, and so I hope y'all are all doing okay. Lenora, yes, I love the smell of a sheep show, and I know a lot of y'all are going, what? But yes, anytime I go to a livestock show, it makes me so happy. She said they still have some sheep, but they don't raise them for their wool, they raise them for meat. But I showed sheep when I was a kid, and I love it. They, however, would have done really well. I think they would have done really well. The judge kept looking and looking, but the stock show is so crowded right now. It is insanely crowded. And they got in with a, you don't always get grouped in with your people, okay, in your stalls. And some of these had 4, 6 sheep in a pen, okay? For whatever reason, these people did not, after they showed first, they were in the first round, but they didn't come back and take care of their animal enough, and it would bully the other animals for its food. And you're not supposed to feed other people's animals, okay? People get really crazy about that, so you just have to go say, hey, this animal over here has not been being fed, and like this, as much as it should. So it would butt at the others. So the one that was supposed to do the best, and the vet still, the judge kept looking at it again and again, like he was thinking about pulling it, but it had a limp, because the other one was hungry and had butted it, was bullying it for food. So I know that sounds, if you don't know a show circuit, that sounds bizarre, but you can't. It's not allowed. You will get asked to leave. You cannot feed other people's animals. It's not a thing. You just have to go say, hey, this animal needs some food, and then let them handle it. But that did not keep the little sheep from wanting the other's food and butting it. And so there you have it. So they didn't do that well. They're gonna ice this little leg and all. It's just bruised. It was just a bruise, and then take it to some jackpot shows, because it is a good little sheep. Like I said, what's funny to me is we always clipped ours super short, all the way down the legs, and now they fluff the legs out real fluffy. But I will have to get some pictures from Keely, and I forgot to bring the iPad over here anyway. So maybe I'll remember to do that next week. But yes, I love the smell of the sheep show. It's just my thing. And like I said, Daylene, I'm coming for your knowledge. I have questions and I need all the help. Cindy, yes. Several y'all said, I don't know what we're gonna do about Easter eggs. Can't nobody afford to waste no eggs this year, okay? It can't happen. We're all gonna be like blowing the centers out like you used to do when you were trying to keep them whole. That's where we're gonna be, because she said in Canada they're $6.99 a dozen. I've been given about 4 something or 5 something around here. $6.99 a dozen. Can't nobody afford to boil them eggs and not eat them, y'all. That ain't gonna happen, can? I don't know. So we're all gonna be blowing the centers out of the eggs so our little children will have something to die, some eggs to still die, and we can use the centers, because you cannot afford to just dye some for fun at that price. I don't know what we're gonna do. It's ridiculous. Oh, and Teresa suggested the welcome from Stitching with the Housewives would be great for Mama. So she said, even if you don't want to stitch the word, you can use like the cutout letters and then just stitch the little ones, the little scene like that. If you go look, it's a real cute design that they have made so you can switch out the things on it. I think it's monthly. I don't think it's even seasonally. I think it's monthly. So that's another good idea that I'm going to look into for doing for her. Nanette said if I start itching when I'm getting that dye to let them know, because you can have a reaction. It's funny you said that, because a lady asked me when she called to schedule it this week if I was allergic to dyes. And I said, I don't know. I've never had one. So thank you for backing that up, because codeine does that. It makes, I start itching and then I start vomiting. Yay. So I hope that's not an issue. And Allison said drink 32 ounces of water after my scan every hour, because you got it's hard on your kidneys and you got to get it out of your system. The faster you get it out, the better. Sharon said, I didn't know this. If you get a comment on your comment and you think it's a hacker, or you get a comment from on anybody's channel and it's a hacker, sometimes they're not nice, so you know, like, this is a hacker. If you hit those 3 dots that are over on that end, you can report it right then, which, thank you for that, Sharon. I didn't know that that was such an easy shortcut there. Oh, and Ava, I've got to tell Micah when I call her to tell her this one is uploading that all of a sudden I went to having a lot more ads on there. They had switched them up, so thank you for letting me know, because I did, when you said that, I went and noticed that, yes, there were so many on there and there was not supposed to be, so, yeah. Lena, I worked on the spring zipper. Anything else? Oh, North Wind. He's the other one. Now, for our winners for last week, for our recipients, share recipients, I don't like using the W word, especially not now. Let me see, I pulled them last week. They are Joyce Klauser and Michelle Ellie. I need your email addresses, because they will be a PDF. Y'all were the recipients of Frankie's village chart, which is so cute. And I'm thinking I'm gonna switch out some of those colors that I'm stitching on that heart. Those, I love it. Tear Sturdivant, Tear, if you'll get with me. Sharf J57, Kathy Dennison, Grammy Stitcher Linda, and Nancy Malcolm. I think that's everybody. There was like 86 commenters according to the counter. So make sure you subscribe and like the video, and then make sure you use the keyword for your, to get included in one of the shares. And I will get in my email and get all that caught up. Okay, now we are going to, the first one we're going to use this week for our share for next week is going to be Winter by Cricut Collection that I just finished, and I love it. Use the word winter if you're interested in this one. It doesn't have any specialty stitches. It does have a lot of threads though, but they're DMCs. So it's gorgeous. This is so cute. It's called Stoneware Bunny by Priscilla's Pocket. It is so cute, and it's just a chart. It said it was initially a kit, but it's just a chart. Stoneware Bunny by Priscilla's Pocket. Use the word bunny if you're interested in that guy. He's so cute. This is a Hands-It, and I think it's called, it can go either way. It's a mini block, and it can go live the life you love and love the life you live. I guess you could actually stitch them both. Would be really cool. So it gives a couple of variations on how to stitch it. Use the word love. Like I love y'all. If you're interested in that one. This one is by Jeanette Douglas, and somebody I just saw had stitched this, and now I can't remember who. It is beautiful, and it does have specialty stitches. So if you, but I mean, she gives good diagrams. This one doesn't have the chart, the chart's on the inside. So she gives good diagrams on how to do the specialty stitches. So if you're wanting to learn some specialty stitches, this one would be a great one. It's called Take Time to Stitch 2, T-O-O, by Jeanette Douglas. Use the word stitch if you're interested in this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. All the way over here. I grabbed out a couple and I didn't know what all I would use. Let's use, golly, this one is beautiful. This is by Silver Lining, and it's an older chart. God, it's so pretty. It's called Parrot Tulips. From Silver Lining. Use the word tulips. Right there, T-U-L-I-P-S, tulips, if you're interested in that one. So those will be our shares for this week. I hope y'all had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. I am hitting right on an hour, so I'm doing good. Check on each other, be nice to each other, try to help somebody out, and you might end up having an adventure that's fun. When Susan called me Saturday morning, I was kind of nervous because I haven't picked Franny up or taken her anywhere. And I didn't know her friend, but it ended up being the most fun. We had the most fun, and they were so sweet. So sometimes when you're kind of nervous about something, it still turns out being absolutely fabulous. So I hope you have some fabulous adventures this week, and I will see y'all later. Enjoy your stitching. Bye.